So if you're new to the wizarding world that is Hogwarts Legacy, then I implore you to get stuck into the main story. See for yourself what this brilliant game is about, and enjoy the 30+ hours of gameplay that it delivers. If, however, you're looking to venture off the beaten path and dabble in the dark arts, then you're pleased to discover what I think is the best quest line in the whole game, and one that, in my humble opinion, is totally worth it for the purpose of fulfilling all the essential storylines in the game. Quick one, guys. Please be sure to like and subscribe to this video. It takes just a second, costs nothing, and is a big help in supporting the channel. Now, without further ado, let's get into the best quest in Hogwarts Legacy. The quest line that I'm talking about, of course, is Sebastian Sallow's Dark Arts questline. Sebastian Sallow is a fellow student of Hogwarts Academy. He's a hotshot Slytherin who some consider without peer in the dueling competition known as Crosswands, and through the events of the main story, soon grows to become an invaluable ally in your quest to get to the bottom of the mystery that is the main story. But, as is the way with these games, the best stories reveal themselves when you go off the beaten path and take the time to get to know your fellow students. In the case of Sebastian, you come to learn that he's got a sister called Anne, who was the unfortunate victim of a terrible dark magic curse, the nature of which causes her bouts of excruciating pain over time, and that will inevitably lead to her death. Having been seen by the best medical wizards and witches in St. Mungo's Hospital, and having been told that there's no cure for her curse, Anne has slowly grown to accept her fate and uses her remaining time to quietly convalesce in the little hamlet of Feldcroft. However, Sebastian refuses to give up. Sebastian reasons that because dark magic is what's afflicting his sister, then dark magic has to have a counter curse to save her. And who'd know the most about all forms of dark magic? Why, none other than the OG dark wizard, Salazar Slytherin. Sebastian's quest really begins when he has you convince his former best friend, Ominous Gaunt, to give you the location of a secret chamber of Salazar Slytherin's. Now, this isn't the secret chamber with a basilisk, it's just a secret chamber. A secret chamber said to lead to Salazar Slytherin's scriptorium. Try and say that after a few drinks. So, you, Sebastian, and Ominous Gaunt make your way through the secret chamber, but before you can get to the scriptorium, Slytherin requires a final test of devotion of the ones who want to get to his sweet, sweet esoteric knowledge. One of you has to cast an unforgivable curse, the Cruciatus Curse, on another. You can guess where this is going. What I love about this quest is that, throughout it all, you have the voice of reason in the other character, Ominous. We learn that Ominous has first-hand experience of using some of the unforgivable curses, and has a deep resentment of them. He knows that nothing good will come of this whole line of inquiry, and that the trio should just walk away from it all before things get out of hand. And what's marvelous is that you, the player, have the power to support this quite reasonable stance by not carrying on with Sebastian's storyline. But then, you wouldn't learn any more unforgivable curses. And let's be honest, that's why you really came here, isn't it?
I meant what I said before. We swear, right now, never to engage in anything to do with dark magic again.
It's at this point that the game throws Sebastian and you a real warning of sorts, that there will be ramifications for using the unforgivable curses on or around people. Which makes perfect sense to me. You're a student of Hogwarts, using forbidden magic that you don't fully understand around civilized people, so expect consequences. Heck, the spells even have unforgivable in their name. So it just renders any decision you make to use them, or to carry on using them, all the more serious. So, you decide to plow ahead anyway. After learning of a closed-off catacomb in the nearby area that houses a particularly powerful dark magical object, Sebastian becomes fixated on the notion that this object will provide the answers that he's looking for. And once again, he's willing to do whatever it takes to get to it and learn its secrets. Once again, the measured voice of Ominous appeals to you, the player, to ask Sebastian to cease this dangerous path that he's on. Remember, Ominous knows the dangers of the dark arts and is uniquely qualified to warn everyone of the threat that this magic poses. And once again, you are given the choice to talk Sebastian down or continue down this dark path. But after the mild threat of using one of the aforementioned curses on Sebastian coming to nothing, the story plows on. I will say that, were it not for the need to have Sebastian be a later entry in the main story quest, the game should go all in on giving you, the player, the chance to use the Imperious Curse to either talk Sebastian out of it, or talk Ominous down. Think of the brilliant moral and philosophical implications for doing such a thing. But alas, we can't have it all. So, after some more main story quest events, Sebastian's Dark Arts quest takes a dark turn in its final section, where we find our guy prepared to go all in on the Dark Wizard thing. He's embraced the forbidden book of all things bad, and even has some level of control over the local undead. All attempts to reason with him prove futile, and we're greeted with a well-deserved and harrowing conclusion to the tragedy that is this storyline. The death of Sebastian's uncle/guardian figure, and the newfound enmity of his younger sister, the one for whom he was doing this whole thing in the first place. Now, a lesser game would have resolved this questline with a sort of fix-all spell. Sebastian would have learned the error of taking shortcuts to solving impossible problems, and all would be well. But not this game. It just takes that final tragic note and hangs there. And leaves Sebastian and you understanding that there are consequences for your actions. And that's the real message of this quest, in my opinion. In a world where there's seemingly no limits to your ability to use magic, there are still consequences to using it, and there's always a price to pay. That's all I've got to say. Get out of here and check out some Hogwarts Legacy.
I don't want to lose Sebastian, but I don't think we have a choice.